Greetings, people with hungry brains. It's Mike, the casual board gamer, here to bring you another game. Games that have lost their buzz a while ago. We're trying to get their buzz back because they're good games. I got an incredible winner for you today. It is Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Oh, goodness!
So what's Betrayal at House on the Hill all about? Well, it's a game that you can be one of 6 people, up to 6 players, going into a haunted house. And you will work as a team for the first part of the game. You'll collaborate and you'll try to beat the game, whatever the mission is. Basically, you keep searching the house, affecting your stats by what you encounter in event cards. Then you find items to the point where you get a haunt roll. And if you fail the haunt roll because you've gotten so many items and you roll past a certain amount or under a certain amount, you have the haunt. Ooh.
Oh yes, the haunt. How delicious.
Ooh. Well, what happens at the haunt? Very innovative dynamic for a cooperative game. One person usually turns into the bad guy. This person is the traitor. Every time we play the game, the traitor did a great job of breaking ranks and trying to undo whatever the good guys were trying to do to win the game. So it made a really great dynamic because sometimes the traitor could bring some really great game and give you a handful to deal with. So some elements about the game. First of all, your characters all have individual statistics. They might be stronger or faster. Some of them might be more sane than the other person. Or intellect is another statistic. So you might pick a character like the professor who he's really good at figuring things out.
I have completed my calculations and I come to the determination that we're all screwed.
Beefy football player who ox smash. He might be fun to play if you need a real mighty character with strong physicality. So how does Betrayal at House on the Hill replicate the experience of walking into the unknown, a house you've never been into that has surprises for you? Well, 2 things. The board of this board game is a bunch of tiles. That board game is a bunch of tiles that has rules for putting them together, and that is different rooms of the house that you go and explore. In these rooms are events. These events are determined by event cards. That will be some narrative that has a horror element to it to deepen the story and the experience. And once again, you'll be continuing to look around until you find items and get a certain amount of items to basically roll under your haunt roll. And the haunt roll is when you're really at the main part of the game. So what are some great things about this game? Well, one of the things I appreciate about this game is miniatures. It's good to have miniatures. You could have little chips that are your players, but they give you miniatures and they even go through the steps of painting them. You don't get a lot of games nowadays where they give you painted miniatures. It's really out of the ordinary. But especially go back 10 and 20 years when this game came out, it really wasn't happening. Other great things about this game is the artwork.
Why, thank you.
The artwork was really good. Artwork has improved since this game has been out. But this artwork was great for its day and is still standing strong for the games that are out currently. There's other good things about the game. Is probably the most important thing is the creativity behind it. Those 50 scenarios that you get are very diverse. They're very different and they're very interesting and creative. They bounce around from stopping an apocalypse to just escaping from a cat. One spoiler in there. So it's a great game. I recommend that you play it. You can still get your hands on it. They've updated the version that you can get your hands on. So they had some problems with the balance of the scenarios which they try to take on. We were pretty happy with the balances that they made. So you're even going to have an improved experience. So once again, please get your hands on this, Betrayal at House on the Hill. It's a wonderful game. You'll have a lot of fun with it. Now, I got to tell you the negative. There isn't a lot of negative to it because it's so creative and so interesting. You can't play it online or on computer. It's not built for that. It wouldn't go well to a computer version. So you're going to have to play it by board game, and that's a negative. Another negative, it's very minor. It's a horror game, but it says that it's for 10-year-olds. You might want to be real careful about your 10-year-old because it does pull off horror. There was this one event card that was so horrifying that actually became like one of these awkward, uncomfortable jokes. We would laugh about it because it was so awful.
Let's play, children.
Something that my 10-year-old, my youngest son, is playing along and he gets to see and hear. And that might have been a little much for him, that I would have rather him not have heard. So be mindful of that. If you have a 10-year-old that's playing it and they're kind of a rougher, tougher kind of kid and they're not going to be too affected by it, then it's probably going to be okay. So hope you enjoy this game, and we'll be back next time. No, I'm not going to take a month break this time, and we'll see you next time.